You've stepped into the Jared Briggs Show. Welcome back, everybody. This is Live Your Life Live with Jared Briggs, and today we are going to be talking money. You guys, I try to do this every single Wednesday at 12:30ish. Computer issues, getting all this stuff figured out, so running a little bit late today, but we are still doing the live. If you don't catch the live, you can go watch it on Instagram or Facebook. Every time I do a live, it posts it there. Excuse me. And if you don't catch that, you can go to my podcast show, The Jared Briggs Show, on Apple or Spotify, or go to YouTube. I post the whole recording to YouTube as well. So every single week doing this live, we talk about a few topics to help you guys get better. This week, we're going to be talking about money. And why we are going to be talking about money is because I enjoy talking about money. I enjoy teaching about money. I enjoy helping people gain a better relationship, gain a better perspective, gain a better flow, gain a better energy, gain everything that we need to obtain a better financial security in our life. Because let's be honest, you guys are working, you guys are chasing your goals and your dreams and everything you got going. So why not be financially wealthy? Why not be financially abundant while you do it? And for you, that it could be anything. So many people out there, especially on social media, post if you don't have a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and all this different stuff, like what are you doing? That doesn't matter. What is your life? What is it that you want to achieve? If you've got a goal and you're like, if I could just make 75,000 a year and have this little tiny house on this paid off piece of property and just live my life disconnected, simple, wonderful. Let's build your life to be able to get to that point. If you want to make $750,000 a year and live a lot more extravagant, great, let's do that. Everybody has their own goals and their own dreams and what they pursue. My goals and dreams are very different than a lot of my family members. My parents and siblings and cousins and grandparents doesn't make me better than them, doesn't make me worse than them, doesn't make anything different other than my goals are different than their goals. I want to experience different things that they want to experience, and that's good. So this whole negative around money and the mindset with it, and money is the root of all evil, and oh, they've got a lot of money, and all these this negative perception that is around it. I really want to talk about these things so that we can remove that, because at the end of the day, money doesn't make you better. It really doesn't. I gotta say, I'm guilty of that in essence. I used to think that if I could make a lot of money, I could have a lot of power and a lot of those things. And the more I grow my life, the more I look at it, I'm like, you know what? I don't care about that crap. I don't want to have power over anything. And I'm not better than anybody. I just want to accomplish my goals and my dreams and live the life that I feel inside of me. And so there's a lot of learning curve behind it too. But having money is a good thing. And this is why money gives you options. That's what I enjoy about money. I enjoy the opportunity to have options. If I want to do something for someone and I'm financially capable of doing it, great. I want that option. I want the option to buy the home that we want to buy. I want the option to buy the vehicle we want to buy. I want the option to go on vacations. I want the option to pay all of my bills and have money left over and build up a savings and investments. I want all those options. I want that in my life. And I would be very safe to say that 99.9% of all people feel the same way. A lot of people just aren't, they don't have enough courage to speak it and to say it, speak the truth of what it is that they truly want and what it is that they truly want to feel. So I want to talk about a few things right here. Number one is relationship with money. Number two is language of money. And number three is stories with money. I want to talk about the relationship with money because money is just like everything else. It is energy. It is not real. Money is fake. It's not backed by gold or silver anymore. Literally, $100 bill is $100 bill because you and I agree it's $100 bill. Other than that, it's a piece of paper that has zero monetary value. The government could literally say tomorrow, hey, we're no longer going by the dollar, the five, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100. We've got this whole new thing. And like, oh, okay, money doesn't mean anything anymore. It's literally backed by nothing. It has zero worth other than the worth that we give it. And when I realized that and learned this from books and podcasts and things, I was like, oh, why am I holding so much value within it? We like hoard it. We hold on to it. We cherish it. Somebody pulls out $100 bill and we're like, oh my gosh, $100 bill. I get that because that's the culture that has been created around it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. It is literally just a transaction. Way back in the day, the way we used to buy and sell and do those things was we traded. If I had a donkey, you had a chicken, I wanted your chicken, you wanted my donkey. Hey, would you like to trade? Donkey's probably worth a little bit more than the chicken, right? And so it caused conflict there. Oh, it's hard to sometimes match up like, hey, I want this, but you don't have anything that I want. We need to find some way to trade. And so that's where currency was created. Way back in the day, we created currency. And now every country and all that has their own form of currency. It's all the same thing. It all comes from the same thing. It's just a form of trade. So then the United States comes up with the dollar and the $5 in US currency, and it was backed by gold. It used to really mean something. Then that was changed. You guys need to go study those things. If you're really interested, go read Creatures from Jekyll Island, go study the Federal Reserve, study all of those things. The whole backed by gold was busted up, and now it's just paper. It's just literally something you and I and everybody else agrees on that it still has monetary value, so we use it as monetary value still. Other than that, it's like Bitcoin and all these other things. They're made up things that we've given value. So our relationship with money has a big effect on how we see it, how we perceive it, the energy that we give it, the love or the hate or the dislike, and all these different things that people feel about money. Your relationship with money is very correlated to the amount of money you collect, the amount of money you have, the stress behind money, the abundance behind money. Whatever your relationship is with money is what you are going to continually project into your life. And so I want to share some things leading into language of money to help you have a better relationship with money. I had a great coaching call yesterday. Reached out to a lady. I've helped her with some financial stuff before, helping her in her mindset. Really cool story. She had a dream car that she wanted to buy and do some business stuff. And we had a few conversations about money. And next thing you knew, she's driving the car and her business started growing. And it was great. So when I reached out to her again, she's like, I would love to meet again. So we had a great conversation yesterday talking about money. And I noticed something in there. She was explaining someone else that went through a hard part in their life, which is terribly sad. But she used the word in explanation. Oh, she's filthy rich. I want you to think about that language, filthy. If somebody called you filthy, oh, you're a filthy person. Oh, they're a filthy person. Is that a good reference? No, we have a complete negative connotation around filthy. Filthy isn't a good thing. Filthy isn't something that we want. Another thing is money is the root of all evil. Oh, they have so much money, it's disgusting. Or they've got more money than they know what to do with. Look at all these language things. Now, if I'm sitting here projecting that money is filthy, what am I going to subconsciously do? I'm going to subconsciously make sure that I never have a lot of money. Therefore, I never become filthy rich. Because now, if I have a lot of money and I'm considered a filthy rich person, I've got a negative within my mind. So I don't want to be filthy. So I'm gonna purposely remove those things. Do you ever feel like you grow and then come back and grow and come back and grow and come back? A lot of people call it sabotage. They sabotage themselves. Have you ever had that experience in your life? And it doesn't even have to be around money. Maybe it's around fitness. Maybe you do really well for a while and then you just binge eat and stop working out and all of it. Well, you're sabotaging yourself back. We subconsciously have a standard, and that subconscious standard we will automatically hold ourselves to. So if I'm subconsciously programmed that I just have enough money to get by because I don't want to be filthy rich, even if I make a lot of money all of a sudden, I'm going to subconsciously remove that money. Have you ever seen people that just make terrible purchases or spending and they're just not good with their money at all? They have some type of subconscious programming within inside of them where they are like, this program is running everything. So if they get a gob of money, a real good amount of money, they will subconsciously remove it from their life so they can get back down to where their comfort zone is. You will also hear this explained as like a thermostat. Think about it. If your house was set at 70 degrees and it's 90 degrees outside, if a rush of warm air comes in the house, somebody open the door or whatever, the AC is going to kick on and lower it back down to 70 degrees. Same thing in the winter. If a bunch of cold air comes in, it's going to warm it back up to 70 degrees. That's a thermostat. That's what its job is to do. We have a financial thermostat. We have a fitness thermostat. We have a relationship thermostat. We have a career thermostat. We have a thermostat on all of these things. So think about that, where you are financially. If you're really struggling to get past 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, wherever you are, and you're really struggling to get past that, it's because your financial thermostat is set for that. I'm going to use this as an example. I've heard it explained many times. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, it's a good example. He has gone broke and bankrupt, not quite bankrupt, but right there on the verge of everything many times. He's lost it all and gained it all back. But every time he did, he would always come back to the billions. He has subconsciously programmed himself that he is a billionaire. That is his standard. That is his financial thermostat. There is so many times I've read a bunch of books on him and multiple other people where they lose it all and it comes right back, and then they lose it all and it comes right back, and they are subconsciously programmed. That is their standard, and they don't accept anything less. So you can also look at that and think, oh man, I'm accepting my income. I am approving of this. This is my standard. I've been okay with this. Okay? Language of money and your subconscious is doing all of this to us. So if you want to increase your income, have a better relationship with money, I want you to start paying attention to the language around money. If if money was an actual person, would that person stay around? The way you talk about it. If you talked to your wife or your husband or your family, if you talked to them the way you talk about money, would they stick around? Interesting to think about. Your language of money has a complete correlation with your relationship with money, which has a complete correlation with how much money you have, how you operate in it. Do you have way too much focus on it and you just need to live your life? There's so many positive and negatives on here. And just having a conversation about this, that's what helps us start working through this. That's this lady I was having a call with yesterday. I shared some things. I actually shared some personal stories with her, shared some learnings that I had, but there was multiple times she was just sharing stuff and started making connections and correlations and all these things. And I told her, I was like, you're automatically going to level up. You're automatically going to increase just because of this conversation and the awareness that you have. And so I share these things with you so you can be aware of your language, aware of your relationship. The next thing is, what are your stories? Your stories around money. I'm going to share two different stories. I'm going to share one about myself and then one that came up in this conversation yesterday. I realized that in high school, I had an experience was I was given a salary. We did this little exercise. I've shared this before, but we did an exercise as a junior or senior, and you were given a salary based on your GPA. I didn't have a good GPA. And so mine was 40,000. It was like right at 40,000 a year is what my salary was. But I had some friends 70, 80, 90,000 because they had 3.5 and 4.0s. And so they had a lot better incomes in this experiment. And so when I was walking around and writing a check to pay for the house and the car insurance and all, which it was a good lesson. We learned how to write a check and pay bills and do stuff like that. I get the lesson, but you should never assign it based on GPA. That hurt me. I didn't like it, and it frustrated me. I said, to heck with letting my GPA ever decide how much money I'm going to collect. I realized many years later that that's how much I was paying myself. I had an experience. I was sharing it with a friend, talking, and I told him how much I was paying myself. And he's like, dude. And I was like, holy crap, I made the connection. I had a story within myself where I'm like, I don't want to I don't want that to be true. And then I projected it to be true, and I was paying myself out of my business 40,000 a year, even though my business was making more than that. I was keeping myself financially stuck, and I constantly lived in fear and stress and worry. And what if I run out? And what if this happens? And what if? And it drove me crazy, but I was stuck in it, and I started realizing these stories. And so I took that opportunity and I paid myself more, and I busted from that. And my business grew, my personal income grew, a lot of great things happened from it. So that story was incredible. Here's another story I want to share with you from this experience that I had yesterday helping this lady. She shared an experience where there was an opportunity in her life where she would constantly see $1,500. And she would see this $1,500, and now in her, what she's doing, she's constantly getting paid $1,500. And I said, do you see the correlation? That's what you projected as a child in that, or wherever you were in your life. That's what you've seen. That's what you felt. And that's what you're getting now. And I remember she sat back. She's, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that story or that internalization or subconscious programming. But just having a conversation, she was able to recognize it. So now she can rewire that in her mind, think about it, and grow and expand from that. Because once we recognize it, we can grow from it. We can take actionable steps to make that story not true and write a new story for ourselves. So we talked about it, said, hey, now when you do your business thing, how much would you like to get paid? And she said the number, and it was significantly more than $1,500. Great. We've already started the process of removing that story and creating a new one for ourselves that we operate on. So you can see from stories, from language, our relationship, the way we perceive money, the way we control money, the way we talk about money, all of it has so much correlation with our relationship and our financial abundance or our scarcity, our lack of money or our abundance of money. You guys, it's all mental. It is 100% mental. And I like to look at it this way. Jeff Bezos with Amazon and all these other super wealthy people that are always talked about in the news and social media, how many billions they have. Do you really think they're that much better of a person than you are? Do you really think they're that much smarter than you are? Do you really think that they are capable of achieving that financial mountaintop and success more than you are? I don't believe so. But I really want you to think about it for yourself. Do you really think they're better than you are? And so when you look at that, yeah, they've done things, they've taken risks, and they've worked hard and studied hard and all that. But they've also created that within their mindset. That is who they are. That is what they do. That is what they accomplish. Have you ever been around somebody that is financially successful? They have a lot of confidence. They know who they are. They're true to who they are. They're good to themselves. Now, there's a lot of bad examples out there too, guys. People get lucky. I get it. There are some total scumbags in this world that will just screw their own mother to make money. And that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about truth. I'm talking about real, honest. I created my own success. He created his own success. He grew himself as a person. He worked on his personal development. He grew his mindset, or she grew her mindset, and all of those things. That's what I'm talking about here. Everybody is capable of growing and expanding and making more money, being more financially secure. You just need to develop your mindset. You need to become that person that does that. I've asked myself that question many times when I run into somebody that's making the amount of money I want to make, or driving the vehicles or house or lifestyle, or the business and the team and all those things. I literally am just like, what do they do that I don't do? Where is their mindset? How do they talk? How do they act? How do they interact? What are they reading? All of these things. How do I become that myself? I want to stay who I am, but I want to develop these disciplines and these qualities to make me and create me into a more abundant lifestyle. I don't want to sit and stress about money. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to worry about inflation and the government and all these different things. I want to create my own self. I want to be in a position where I need nothing from no one. And everybody is capable of doing that. 100% capable of doing that. We can sit here and blame the economy and blame the jobs and blame the government and blame the president and blame taxes and blame the IRS and blame the Federal Reserve. And we can blame those things till we're blue in the face. But guess what? Still, at the end of the day, it's not going to change. Nothing. Nothing's going to change. It's all going to continue to progress the way that it's progressing. But we as the American people, we're the voice. We're the people. You're the person. What is your relationship with money? What is your language of money? What is your stories with money? What is it that you are operating on? That is where you are made. Your life is 100% mirror and a reflection. What you are projecting out is exactly what you are projecting in. The amount of income you are collecting today is the amount of income you are exactly projecting out that you are worth and that you are capable of managing and handling. If you guys want something that's really going to teach you about money, The Richest Man from Babylon. That book is incredible. It teaches you how to be a steward of money. And then The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Those two books I have read multiple times, yearly, for years now. And I have implemented these practices, and I'm still working on implementing them because it's every time I read them, I pick up on something new and I gain a deeper understanding and value in what money is, how money works, and what to do with it. It is literally a tool. It is literally a resource. It isn't real. It has zero value other than the value we give it. So why do we have such a negative around it? That's what needs to change. If you can change that personally in your own life, your life will financially explode. You will enjoy collecting money. You won't stress and worry about it. You will attract good opportunities and income into your life. You will remove all the chaos and clutter in your life. It is all 100% to you. And so I wanted to share these things: relationship with money, language of money, and stories of money. Your financial success, the rewards you receive because of it, is all 100% up to you. You are responsible for everything that happens in your financial life, your personal life, your career life, everything. You're 100% responsible for everything. And that also comes down to your money. So I had this great relationship, or this great conversation yesterday. And so I wanted to share this with you guys because it was a 2 hour long meeting. It was incredible. I enjoyed the heck out of it. If you guys have any questions or you're interested, I'm now offering this. This is I actually just invested into a program, just letting all of you guys know. I just invested into a program to become a certified life coach. I'm going to get my ICF certification in the next 6 months. That's what I'm working on, along with all the other business things that I got going. So it's going to be a little while, but this is what I love to do. And so if you would like help in this, want to have a conversation, anything, please let me know. I'd love to help you guys in these things. But continue to listen. I want to, from all these experiences that I'm having, I want to share the things that I'm learning so that I can help you. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, be the master of your life. See you guys. Have a wonderful day.